Hey there, garden friends. If you've been watching Grow with Soil for any length of time, you know I'm obsessed with what's happening beneath the surface, and honestly, that's where all the magic happens. I've seen struggling gardens completely turn around, not from fancy fertilizers or expensive products, but from giving the soil what it truly needs. Today I'm breaking down 5 game-changing strategies that have transformed my garden beds from underwhelming to absolutely thriving. These aren't trendy hacks that fade away. These are fundamental practices that work season after season, year after year. Let's dig in. I'll never forget the first time I really committed to composting. I wasn't just tossing kitchen scraps into a pile anymore. I was intentionally building black gold and using it generously. Now I apply a 2 to 3 inch layer of finished compost to every bed at least twice a year, and the transformation has been incredible. What makes compost so powerful is its completeness. It's not just one nutrient or one benefit, it's a full package. You're adding organic matter that improves soil structure, beneficial microorganisms that help plants access nutrients, and a slow-release source of everything your plants need to thrive. When I work compost into my beds each spring and fall, I'm essentially giving my soil a complete multivitamin. Here's what changed my composting game. I stopped waiting for perfection. My compost doesn't need to be completely broken down into fine, uniform material. That semi-finished compost with some recognizable chunks still in it, that's actually fantastic. It continues breaking down in the bed, feeding soil life over an extended period rather than all at once. The timing matters too. Spring compost gets worked into the top 6 inches before planting, mixing with existing soil to create a nutrient-rich root zone. Fall compost goes on as a top layer, protecting the soil over winter while breaking down slowly. By spring, earthworms and other decomposers have pulled it down and integrated it beautifully. It's like having a team of tiny gardeners working while you sleep. This practice completely changed how I think about empty garden space. I used to leave beds bare after harvest thinking they were resting, but bare soil isn't resting. It's eroding, compacting, and losing nutrients. Now I plant cover crops the moment a bed opens up, and my soil has never been healthier. My go-to combinations depend on the season and what I'm planting next. In fall, I love a mix of winter rye and crimson clover. The rye's deep roots break up compaction and add tons of organic matter when I turn it under in spring. The clover fixes nitrogen, essentially creating free fertilizer for next season's plants. This combination has taken my tired summer beds and rejuvenated them completely. For shorter periods between crops, I use buckwheat or field peas. Buckwheat grows incredibly fast and attracts beneficial insects while shading out weeds. Field peas can be ready to turn under in just 6 to 8 weeks while still adding significant nitrogen. I've started treating these quick cover crops like a spa treatment for my soil, a fast refresh between plantings. Turning cover crops under is where some gardeners get intimidated, but it's simpler than you think. I cut them down when they're flowering, but before they set seed, chop them up roughly with a sharp spade, and work them into the top few inches of soil. Then I wait 2 to 3 weeks before planting to let that green material break down. The nutrient surge that follows is phenomenal. This was honestly the hardest habit for me to break. I mean, I grew up watching my grandfather till his garden every spring, so I just thought that's what you had to do, you know. But once I understood how tilling actually destroys soil structure and disrupts the entire underground ecosystem, I stopped cold turkey. Now, I practice no-till gardening, and let me tell you, my soil structure has improved dramatically. Instead of turning soil over, I focus on building it up. Every amendment I add goes right on top, just like nature does it. Compost, aged manure, leaf mold, grass clippings, everything gets layered on the surface. The soil organisms, especially earthworms, do the mixing for me. They pull material down, process it, and distribute it throughout the root zone way more effectively than I ever could with a shovel. The benefits, honestly, showed up faster than I expected. Within just 1 season of stopping tillage, I noticed my soil stayed moist longer and felt softer and more crumbly. That's because I wasn't destroying the soil aggregates and fungal networks that hold everything together. The natural structure that develops in undisturbed soil is just far superior to anything we can create mechanically. When I need to plant, I simply pull back mulch, use a trowel to create a planting hole and tuck the plant in. For direct seeding, I create shallow furrows in the top layer. It's actually less work than tilling, and the results are significantly better. My plants establish faster, because they're growing into structured, living soil, rather than a disturbed, compacted mess. This mindset shift was huge for me. I used to think about fertilizing plants directly, giving them what they need right now. But when you feed the soil biology instead, you create a sustainable system that continues providing nutrients long-term. It's the difference between giving someone a fish and teaching them to fish. I focus on feeding microorganisms with what they need to thrive. Fungi love woody materials, so I incorporate wood chips in pathways and as mulch. Bacteria prefer fresh green materials, so I add grass clippings and food scraps. This diversity of food sources creates a diverse microbial community, and that diversity translates directly to plant health. One practice that's been incredibly effective is making compost tea and applying it monthly during the growing season. I fill a 5-gallon bucket with water, add a few scoops of finished compost and a tablespoon of molasses, then let it bubble with an aquarium pump for 24 hours. This creates a liquid teeming with beneficial microorganisms that I spray on both soil and plant leaves. The results speak for themselves. My plants show that deep, rich green color that indicates optimal nutrition. They resist pests and diseases better because they're genuinely healthy from the inside out, not just artificially pushed to produce. And I'm spending less on inputs, because the soil biology is doing the heavy lifting of nutrient cycling for me. Water management might seem basic, but it's one of the most crucial factors in soil health. Soil that cycles between bone-dry and waterlogged creates stressed conditions for both plants and soil organisms. I've worked hard to maintain consistent moisture levels, and the improvement in plant performance has been remarkable. So, mulch is my first line of defense. You see, a thick layer of organic mulch can really reduce evaporation dramatically, keeping those moisture levels more stable even through the hot weather. I've actually gone from watering daily in the summer to watering every 3 to 4 days, which honestly, is better for everyone involved. Deep, infrequent watering encourages deeper root systems compared to frequent shallow watering. It's truly amazing what a difference mulch can make. I also pay attention to watering technique. Rather than overhead watering that can compact soil and promote disease, I use soaker hoses laid under the mulch layer. Water goes directly to the root zone where it's needed. I water early in the morning when evaporation rates are lowest, and plants have the whole day to dry off before nightfall. During establishment periods, I monitor moisture closely by sticking my finger into the soil. If it's dry below 2 inches, it's time to water. Once plants are established, they become more drought tolerant, but I never let the soil completely dry out. That consistent moisture creates perfect conditions for beneficial organisms while keeping plant roots hydrated and happy. These 5 practices work together to create what I call regenerative gardening. You're not just extracting from your soil, you're actively improving it season after season. Start with 1 or 2 techniques that resonate most with your situation, then build from there. Your soil will respond, and your plants will show you just how much difference healthy soil makes. Ready to join the soil revolution? Subscribe to Grow with Soil for more proven techniques and real garden results. Share this with fellow gardeners who are ready to grow not just plants, but the living ecosystem that supports them. Let's build better soil together.